Monday, which means it's time for our weekend box office report, brought to you by our friends at AMC Theaters. Claiming the #1 spot on its opening weekend is the new James Bond film Spectre. The super spy film brought in $73 million, which, to put into perspective, is more than double than all of last week's top 5 movies put together. Coming in second is the new Charlie Brown film Peanuts, taking in $45 million, also more than all of last week's top 5 films put together. Dropping down to the third spot is the Matt Damon film The Martian, adding $9.3 million to bring its worldwide total up to $458 million. In the #4 position is Goosebumps, making an additional $6.9 million, and rounding out the top 5 is the Tom Hanks Steven Spielberg film Bridge of Spies, making $6 million. John, what stands out to you about this week's box office report?
A couple things stand out to me, starting with Spectre. I believe on this show, I think I pegged Spectre for 115. Now, everywhere I'm reading, they're saying that Spectre met expectations. That's where the studio's happy with the number. That's great. But I honestly thought it was going to crack 100. I really did. So I was way off on that one. Again, broken record player, Matt Damon, The Martian,
right,
still in the top 5, only dropped 20% this week to almost crack double digits in the millions again. So that's really great to see, and it's wonderful to see Peanuts doing so well. I really thought Peanuts would come in under that. I thought it's great. There's a nostalgia factor, but not a lot of new generation of people are looking forward to it. I pegged it about 30, 45, to me is a great result. So a much better, much more recovered box office from last week, which was just abysmal. So a nice showing for a lot of films, Mark.
Yeah, well, the Amish guy called it because I didn't think that Spectre was going to do what Skyfall did, and it ended up not doing it. Now, I think part of the reason, and again, it sounds strange to say, is that Peanuts took some of that money away. Peanuts is a multi-generational appeal, and I didn't think it would do $45 million, but I was hopeful it would. I'm so happy to see that movie do well because I loved it. Spectre was critically received pretty well, but not like Skyfall was. People weren't raving about Spectre like they were the previous Skyfall and Casino Royale. They were also Daniel Craig films, so I think maybe that's why it didn't quite hit a number that you would love. The studio is probably happy with it, but I can't say that they're thrilled. The Martian. I'm so happy. This thing is going to still be in the top 5 when we actually get a man to land on Mars. And, you know, it's nice to see Goosebumps hanging around as well. But, yeah, Peanuts was the big win, I think, for this weekend.
You know what? It's almost like the Bond franchise is becoming the next Star Trek franchise. Remember back when Star Trek, Wrath of Khan, Search for Spock, all that kind of, it's like the first one, well, no, it was a little bit of the opposite, but it was like one comes out and is good, the next one comes out and people didn't like it. The next one comes out, it's great, the next one comes out, people, that's what we've got with Bond Sword. Casino Royale, everybody loved. Quantum Solace, right. Then Skyfall, yay! And then Spectre is like, sort of thing happening. Anyway, that means the next one is bound to be awesome. Anyway, Schnapp, what do you think about the box office?
And unfortunately, I hope the next one doesn't have Daniel Craig in it because he seemed really bored in this Spectre. I thought Spectre was just okay. I just saw it, and I was like looking forward to it like equaling Skyfall, and in no way did it equal it. It wasn't as bad as Quantum, but it just felt like, you know, he was walking through the scenes, and also was very kind of like tired. There was like, Dennis and I both agreed, like the train fight sequence was incredible. There's a lot of action scenes that are amazing, but overall it just didn't have that same impact that Skyfall did. So ultimately, I think that's what's going to happen with its box office. It's going to do really well here in America, but it's not going to do amazing.
And I remember people telling me how great Skyfall was and being sold on Skyfall by the marketing. And Spectre, I was aware that the movie was coming out, but a lot of the billboards I saw around Los Angeles, it was Daniel Craig in that Day of the Dead mask, and then it says Spectre with 007 written in small letters behind it. And it's like, dude, a lot of people know that's even James Bond behind that mask. You got to see the movie to know he's the dude behind that mask at the beginning of the film. So I didn't love the marketing campaign for Spectre. Peanuts is also, I thought that was a little undermarketed as well, but I'm happy that people were aware it was coming out because that movie deserves to be seen.
Yeah, and Peanuts I saw this weekend too, and definitely it's a family film. Like it was like I thought that, like myself as an adult, I felt there was too many Snoopy Red Baron sequences for me.
Oh, I love
those. You can never have too many Snoopy Red Barons.
For my dumbass, you can. And I think
and
it did. For number 3, I was like, I hope that's the last one, and there were 2 more. So I was like, all right, come on, Snoopy, kill him already. But no, it was very enjoyable. And definitely, I went there at a matinee with kids screaming the entire movie. So that's just that joy of having a lot of children in a theater is you get to enjoy it with them, like watching it with them, talking the entire time. And at the very end, right when the credits hit, a kid yelled, "Charlie Brown!" And that was my favorite part of the movie. Because kids love this film. So it's definitely, if you have kids, bring them to see this Peanuts
It's not
movie.
just kids, man. I mean, I know talking to Dennis and talking to a lot of people when they see, like when people, everybody saw it before me, and so they're all coming out going, this movie's great. And so it's really happy to see the success for it. With Spectre, can't help but feel there was a missed opportunity there because, you come out of Skyfall and everybody really liked Javier Bardem's a villain, right? Now we're going into Spectre and you get 2-time Academy Award winner Christoph Waltz as the bad guy in a Bond film.
Right.
Are you effing kidding me?
Right.
This is going to be amazing. Kind of.
And your boy Dave Bautista too.
And Dave
One of
Bautista,
my big problems. And I know we're not reviewing it right now, but the villains were a little underutilized, and it just. Again, that movie was fine with me. I enjoyed watching it, but it wasn't Quantum of Solace where I walked out scratching my head like, what the hell just happened?
Right.
But it just wasn't as good as Skyfall.
Right, Quantum of Solace. Was it about water or something, right? We're in the desert. I'm thirsty. Yeah, you instantly forget it.
And I will say that any screen time that Monica Bellucci is on screen is time well spent.
Right. That was short. Dave Bautista was in it too little, and Christoph Waltz was just badly written. There's some bad scenarios.